Okay, so here we are. Here we are. Are we live? I think we're live. Awesome. Okay, so welcome to today. It is definitely a Monday. It is Monday Eve, of course. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. So, great, beautiful, blessed Monday. It is noon Eastern Standard Time here today in the Georgias. Let me know if you can see me. You should be able to see me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we're doing great things today up in here. If you don't know me, never seen me, never met me, my name is Tenille, and I help women who've been diagnosed with lupus go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. Welcome to Happily Healed with Tenille podcast, and today we have a guest. I'm excited. I'm super excited. So this past Saturday, thank you everybody who came out to the lupus walk. It's very funny that one of the number one things we have is joint pain as a loopy, and we are here walking for over a mile because I don't know, fundraising. I don't know, but it was really fun. There was so much to do and so much to see, and so many photo ops, and it was amazing. So I'm really grateful for everybody who showed up and showed out, and definitely thought about the people who couldn't make it because they were too sick or they passed. You were in our thoughts and our prayers, and like the bravery of every loopy that I've ever met. So let's talk about what's happening now. The guest. So today I had this woman on for like 5 seconds the other day, right? But she needed her own episode. Okay, she needed an episode just about her to tell her story because let me tell you, she's been through it. Okay, through it, and through her own like grit and tenacity, started her own nonprofit. So I got to see her today Saturday also, which was like so good, so exciting. Like it's funny how our struggles bond us because we both know we sick of being sick and we want to talk about it. So without further ado, let's introduce the owner, is that the word? The creator of the L Life, the infamous birthday girl, Gabby. Hey.
Hi, I was muted, I think.
Yes. You're here now. Hi. Thank you for being here.
Oh.
So excited to see you again.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So look at us matching purple and purple because the lupus.
I know.
So for our audience, please let us know who you are, where you are, like where you're from, and what you do.
Okay. I'm Gabby. I'm Gabrielle Williams. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised here. And I'm the founder and creator of the L Life, as she said, a nonprofit here in Atlanta that I started when I was on my journey, when I felt like, I was alone and just wanted a sense of community and support. And so one day when I was bored in my hospital room, I just kind of jotted down these ideas, and the L Life was one of those ideas, and it just ended up blooming in a way that I never thought. So
you were in your hospital room when you made this?
Yes.
So you were still actively sick, and then
yeah, I was actively sick, but that's when I decided, like you said, I'm sick of being sick. I'm bored of being sick. I'm ready to make a change. So even in the hospital, I would start doing my makeup, and my doctors would walk in and be like, "Hey, you look really good. Like, what did you do?" I'm like, I did my eyebrows. I combed my hair a little bit. They're like, "Yeah."
That's amazing.
So I would just start jotting down those ideas. And like I said, yeah, it was one of those things. And then when I got out the hospital, when I first really started, it was a different name. And I actually kind of rebranded it along with time, but it kind of just started with me just starting to GoFundMe like on a whim, because I just got to the hospital. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. So I'm like,
Mhm.
and I think that GoFundMe made like $250. So with that, I made my first deposit on my first little event, and then when I
Oh,
started
you went
selling it,
straight to events? Wow. You went straight to events. Like you were like,
well,
okay.
I kind of started with the Lupus Walk. Like I started with the Lupus Walk, and as a team, and then I started having ideas because I'm like, I just don't want to look forward to just the Lupus Walk. And then we
Mm,
have like the summits and then other events, other places like the March in Washington. I think that's about to happen soon, actually.
yeah.
When they do the Capitol and all that. But I was like, I want something else to look forward to. So yeah, so a few years. So I didn't just necessarily jump into events. Because I kind of, how lupus is. I kind of went back and forth through it when I was first diagnosed. Because it's something about being diagnosed and getting on the medications. You just kind of go through like a back and forth of being sick for like 4 to 5 years. It's weird.
Mhm.
So it was like, yeah, like 4 years after like my final, like last extended, like 4 month hospital stay. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, like a little bit. And that's when I'm ready to go back to school. I'm ready to go, jump back into all this. So it's like, I kind of just, like I said, I was bored and tired of being sick. So
Mhm.
that's how it started unfolding. And then I started with my first event. It was a really cool event, actually. It's called Muffin Bagels and Mimosas, and we're bringing it back this year in the fall. So that's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
We call it
nice.
MBM. It's gonna be Muffin Bagels and Mimosas too. So, so yeah, we started with that, and then it did better than I thought. Like I said, I was just going on a whim, just taking a chance. I'm like, if 10 people come, just my family come, or 20 people, 40 people, we're gonna have just as much fun either way. And it was the
Right.
same way with the gala that you attended previously, the first one back in 2023. It was our first event after the pandemic. So I
Mm,
was like, are people, going, support, or but I was like, I'm just gonna take that chance again. And then
yeah.
the Lupus showed up and showed out, and people just,
Yeah, girl.
it's a lot of people just want that sense of community, more people than
Yes.
people would think.
Plus, I really it was a nice reason to like get fancy. Like I don't really get dressed up for many reasons, right? Like so I was like, oh wait, I get to masquerade. I get to do something fancy. This has got it. Like I wanted to because I was excited to do something different. I don't know. It's a lot of like somber thoughts and prayers and not like fun attached to lupus. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it's
right,
already a mystery. People don't know what it is in the first place. Then second, it's like when people talk about lupus, they're like so and so passed away from lupus. It's not like
right,
so and like at the gala, I was like, wow, everyone looks stunning and like everyone is excited and like even though there was a little bit of like crying, it was just like
right.
the community around that girl who was crying, like
Mm-hmm.
immediate, everyone got up and was like hugging her and like, you got this, you can do this, finish your speech. Like
Right.
it was just, it was awe inspired. Like I really love the community that gravitates towards your events specifically because it's
Mm-hmm.
the people who are ready, who are sick of being sick and are ready to like
Right.
do something different and be proactive and that kind of stuff. It is
Mm-hmm.
very much a beautiful space that you are creating. And I want to make sure that you're getting your flowers now. Mind you, it's Gabby's birthday in 2 days. So everybody say happy birthday, Gabby. Happy birthday. Woo!
Taurus gang.
So for those who missed it, uh, go ahead and tell people how you first got diagnosed. I know that you like had a full life before diagnosis. So how did
Right.
you first get diagnosed?
Okay, so I was diagnosed in 2012, but I was misdiagnosed basically my entire life, because
Mm.
as early as like around age 4 or 5, I remember waking up telling my mom, like, my chest hurts, like I feel like I'm gonna die. Like I'm a little child saying that. So I don't know how my doctors correlated that to me making it up. Like, why would a 5 or 6 year old, come to their parent constantly every other month, because they would give me penicillin because I would get tremendously sick. Even as a child, I would get the flu. They would call it the flu like 3 times out the year. And then around spring,
Wow.
they would say it's hay fever. And then I would get this rash on the back of my legs. And they told my parents it was poison oak. They said it's reoccurring poison though, because y'all live in all those trees and those woods out there in Georgia. You know,
Wow.
y'all live out there. So it's probably just that. And I guess I look on the outside, I look like a healthy child.
Mm-hmm.
And I always defied it because I feel like I was kind of born with pain. And I hate to say that really.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've always known to like either mask it or to like somehow push it down. So
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, I started to kind of believe the doctors. But when I got to high school, my mom was like, no, it's something wrong, because I started back with the chest pains. Like, they started back up, especially after when I went through puberty. I realized now that I'm diagnosed and that I was going through a flare. Um,
Yeah.
but because we went to Disney World when I was a child, and my dad, we went to the pool for like 2 hours. You know, kids, we let to be in the pool, Florida sun. So my dad had to literally carry me, and this
Oh.
is before I was diagnosed. And they were saying I was making it up. And this is like, but like I said, when we got home, they gave me what they gave me. It was like, yeah, she just was over, she was just dehydrated, blah, blah. So fast forward to me getting pregnant. I was in college. I was a sophomore at Georgia Southern University. And I guess me getting pregnant just made it just explode, because
Mm-hmm.
every symptom that you could think of, I had. Like, my first, it started with my skin, because my skin just like did something it never did before. Like, I was still at school, so one morning I woke up and it just, because it kind of was itching, like you know how it gets itchy. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm like really itchy, and then I woke up one morning and it's just like my skin like just had a whole layer of like what I describe as tree bark. Like, it looked like tree bark. They have formed over my face literally overnight. And my sister, we went to Georgia Southern together. So I was at her apartment because I know I wasn't feeling well. So I was with her. So she was like, what is that? And I'm like, I
Oh my
don't know.
gosh.
And it was in my nose and it started
Oh.
going to my mouth. And my child's father at the time, he was there too. So he was like, what's that? Like, what's going on? So we went to the doctor together, and they actually diagnosed me in Statesboro, Georgia, where Georgia Southern is, like a very country town.
Yeah.
They did a great job. They do better here in the city, actually. Like, those doctors are so good, so thorough.
Wow.
And my T cells were so low. The first question they asked me, they were like, "Do you have HIV or AIDS?" And
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Yeah.
my Lord, I don't
Right.
think
Right.
so." And
Yeah, I
so
feel so disrespected by that. Like it's
And
happened
so,
so
but
many times.
they were still kind of they were very professional about it. They were just worried though, because I looked like what I was going through, like, because I
Mm.
had never, it caught me so off guard. I didn't know how to handle it at all. So I'm thinking it's just about to be another thing that I get sick for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna get some antibiotics, shake it off, and
Hmm.
be good. Like, in my
Yeah.
head at the time,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking it's about to be a lifelong. This is just
Nobody ever is. No one
the tip of the
ever.
iceberg right here.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking it's just about to be cool. Okay, so I'm going to the doctor. And so finally they like, okay, they test me for every STD you could think of under the sun. They got the infectious disease team involved. They like, well, it's not that. And then they finally asked, like, does anybody in your family have lupus? And I was like, my dad has it. And it was like, wow, your
Oh,
dad has it? I was like, yeah, my father has been diagnosed with lupus since like 1982. And so,
wow.
and it was rare back then. Yeah. He got sick in college too, coincidentally. It happened to him around college, the same age as me.
Crazy.
So
Especially men are like the 1%. They're such a small percentage. So wow.
my dad was at the gala. He lives in Birmingham, but he was there. I look just like him. I
Yeah.
wish I could have had more of a chance to acknowledge him, but we were kind of rushing.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so then they finally started ticking off. And then they finally called me like a week later. It was like, yeah, you have lupus SLE, and I was like, oh. And at the time, like I said, I'm still like, because my dad handles it really well, honestly. I didn't When we were growing up, he didn't show those sides. I didn't know what he was going through until he told me, but he wore it well. Like, he didn't have rashes on his face the way I had them, and he didn't.
Mhm.
Maybe me being a woman was different. I don't know. Um,
I mean,
but
everyone's
yeah,
reaction is completely different, so it doesn't even matter. Like whatever it is,
right.
it
And
can
my
show
dad
up.
was very active. Like, he mowed the lawn growing up. I mean, a lot. So
Mhm.
I never anticipated that they would unfold for me. That eventually I went through, because
How did you know?
the year after I got diagnosed, I got meningitis in my brain. It was because lupus overreacts to things.
Mhm.
So I had a contact in my eye, they got infected, and my eye got really infected, and my eye got better, but it created an ulcer. So I'm technically legally blind in my right eye. So I don't wear contact in this. I only wear one in here.
What?
Right. So yeah, and it took away some of my hearing out of this whole side. My right side is kind of like almost, I won't say like dysfunctional, but it kind of glitches sometimes. But it's kind of weaker than this side because of meningitis.
Wow. See, I
This
would
side,
never
what
have
it affected.
known.
Right. And so meningitis is what also clashed with transverse myelitis, and that's what kind of like hit my spine so hard and had a
Okay,
domino effect.
explain that, because y'all probably can't even tell. She's in a wheelchair. She is in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
full time ish. Yes, in a wheelchair. And explain how you got there, because I know a lot of people with lupus who are not in a wheelchair, even though they told me that I wouldn't walk again and here like I'm walking, but like
Yeah.
you have a specific thing that led to that. So explain that. How did that go?
Yeah. So with transverse myelitis, it's interesting. It crept up on me, and they misdiagnosed me with that too. Like they had diagnosed me with lupus, and then while I was pregnant with my daughter, actually, it started creeping on me, and I didn't know it at the time because I woke up. We were at a family reunion. I was still pregnant, and it was like at a beach. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was sleeping with my mom, and I was like, "It's something crawling all over my legs. It's something crawling on me. It's something on me." And she was like, "No, I don't see nothing." And so I kind of fell back asleep, and then I woke up again. I was like, "It's something on me." So I ran cold water in the bathtub in a hotel, and I got it there. My mom like was like, "What's wrong?" Like, and this is also when the infection in my eye kind of was also transpiring. So my mom was just like, I
Oh,
don't want to take my eyes off you. And I was
yeah.
losing weight. Even though I was pregnant, I was losing weight like this. I had
Oh,
lost like
no.
40 pounds in like a month.
That's a
And
good point to bring up. A lot of the
and
time when people see somebody who's lost weight, they're like, "Oh wow, you look great, you lost whatever." Don't do that, because you don't know why.
right,
Like the skinniest I've ever been in my life has been when I have been the sickest. And
right,
people
yeah,
congratulating me on being a skinny person is I don't even know how to take it. It's like I know they mean well, but I am fighting for my life and you're like, "Oh, you look great." It's terrible. Don't do that.
right.
You don't know what people are going through. Okay, continue. So
Hmm.
your mom is on you like, "Wow, this is
Yeah,
scary."
because it started feeling like a whole lot of like tingles and like something's crawling all over you, like you feel like just a whole lot of something just, but really it was my nerves. Like now we know
Mhm,
that, but at the time
mhm.
I didn't know. So I don't know how I got it calm for the rest of that trip, or maybe I was probably so traumatized I don't remember.
Aw.
I repressed a lot from that because I was just, and so eventually it started making my feet burn like so bad to the point where I asked my rheumatologist, I was like, "Can y'all please cut my feet off?" And so I started going to the podiatrist, and they told me, they was like, my podiatrist was like, "I think it's your spine." He was like, "I think it's not." He was like, "I think it's making your feet hurt, but it's just fine." Like my feet were in so much pain to the point where I was wearing ice packs in public. I didn't care. Like I was
Oh,
wearing ice on my feet. Like, and my grandma herself, like she's a preacher, she's very country. So she came up there and just prayed over my feet. She was like, "Lord," she was like, "Pray, pray about it, baby." And so I literally one night screamed out loud. I couldn't take it. I was like, "God, please take it away. Please just take it away." And then literally like over the next 2 weeks, my legs kind of went numb, and I didn't feel the pain anymore. I couldn't really feel my legs either, but I couldn't feel the pain. And I was just so grateful. And then when I went to physical therapy and stuff, they started, and the doctors tried to tell me, "You'll never feel this again." But I slowly but surely started to be able to feel my booty again, like certain
yay.
things started coming back. And so it's
Yeah.
like, because I'm not paralyzed, it's like, how it feels when your legs go to sleep when you sit on your legs for a long time.
You're like pins and needles.
Yeah. And then stand up really quick. That's kind of how my legs feel all the time in certain places.
Wow.
Like starting from like my belly button down. That's kind of how it is. Like,
So
but I've
when
gained a lot
can
of
you walk
feeling back.
around at all? Like, can you like get around maybe your house or something? You know what I mean? Like, is it just no use?
I can use a walker. Like I have a walker, and I can feel around. Like I can actually walk even without a walker, if I feel around, but I can't just like walk willy nilly. Like I could probably take like 4 steps, but it's still because I've trained my mind and my muscle memory to just be able to do, like, because I'm not technically paralyzed. I still have muscles. So it's like my body is almost confused as well. Like, because I had to retrain my bladder. I had to retrain my everything. Like, because
Yeah.
once that stuff is affected, like everything from my belly button down was like kind of went crazy a little bit. So
Right.
when that first was happening, and I like remember after I had my daughter, and I was at a beauty supply store. I just remember it so vividly, and I remember peeing on myself for the first time for real, and I was kind of like, that just, and I was like, I'm gonna just hurry to check out. And so when I got in the car with my sister, I was like, I think I peed on myself, girl. And when I got home, I was like,
Oh
I peed
no.
all over myself. I was like,
Oh
girl. And so
no.
that's when I started having to get a urologist. That's when I had every type of allergist. Now I have every
Yeah.
type of allergist you could think of. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I never even knew these doctors existed before I got into this
Right.
world. Like, I would have
Right.
never known.
Same.
I thought it was just a primary care doctor. And he was like, what's up?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now you have to have a specialist for them to really look deep. Because if you go to the primary care doctor, they're
Everything.
gonna be like, you need a Band-Aid and some Tylenol.
Right.
Like, girl, I need a
Exactly.
CAT scan and a neurologist.
Right. And that's what it is too, that you gotta know. You gotta know
Yeah, you
more
have to
things after,
know.
because
And
the general practitioner is general. They just kind of like know a little tiny bit about everything, and they're like, you'll be all right. Walk it off. Like, let me give you some antibiotics. Like, no, I need real help, please. Thank you.
like, I'm like, write me a referral to the person who I actually need to talk to, please.
Right. Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
it's
God bless
not
them.
you.
But like, that's what general practitioners are for. They don't really cure much. They just kind of send you to who actually knows something, which is
Yeah.
great.
And
But
that's
yeah,
their
I
job,
have a
kind of.
little bit of experience in the, like, I'm in possession of a wheelchair, a walker, and then like a different type of walker. It's like 2 sticks. But it's only been months that I couldn't walk. It was more like muscle atrophy. So
Hmm.
physical therapy helped a lot, and like I got back on my feet, even though I guess it was an option to not put me through as much physical therapy. And then I guess I wouldn't have learned, because it's hard to learn on your own, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Um, so I, I I understand. Like, I love that you prayed that prayer and you literally got the answer. Maybe not the answer that you were
It,
thinking it was gonna be,
right.
but the answer came immediately. So now, life in mostly a chair, how do you think that affects you? Like, do you think that people understand like the severity of lupus now because you are in this chair most of the time? Or like, how do you like function in the world now? Like, you always look great, you always done up, hair did, makeup did, like, looking great. So like, how do people receive you in the world, I guess?
Um, it's it's interesting you say that because that's why I do it. That's why I kind of like make sure I stay in a sense of looking normal, in a sense, even though I'm in a wheelchair so they can see what it can do. But I also want people to see that you don't have to be stuck in it. Like you don't have to look like what you're going through in a sense.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
feel like people do definitely, especially those that are in my, like, around me, in a personal sense, they know like how severe it is. They know that you could be
Mhm.
looking like this one day in the same night be in the emergency room,
Right.
or within the next hour. Really, I mean, they know.
Mhm.
Like that's my mom the other day. She's like, "You okay? What you do?" I'm like, "Girl, go to work. Go do you. Leave me alone." Because people know, like, especially if you do express or share with them, like, I was in pain after the walk, or I wasn't feeling well. Like, people kind of make them worry, like, oh Lord, we need to go to Emory. No, no.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now, and two, you just learn how to doctor on yourself in a sense. But I feel like people do kind of see it, but a lot of people still don't know
So let me
what
tell you,
lupus is.
you are in the wheelchair and people are still like, either they're still like, oh, she's fine. Like, what do you mean? I'm confused. Like, do is it helping your advocacy, or is it you think that people are still just not getting it or understanding
I
it?
feel like people, well, for one, a lot of people, um are just so like, I guess the only word to use is like ignorant to it. So I guess like some people are literally like by the eye. Like you said, they just see you look good. I mean, you sit
Mhm.
down, but you look pretty good to me. You look like you can. I like you. Like I could waste your time. I can still waste your time. Like I can still, like it's just,
You sit down, but you still look good.
you
That's
still look
true
like
though.
shoe, girl. You
That's
can do what
funny.
you can. So it's like a few people that still think like that because you know, like you said, I could curl my hair, I could get up and look decent enough. You must be all right on the inside. So
Right,
some people do literally go by looks.
right.
And in a sense, it's a blessing and a curse because I do want people to look at me as a person. But then again, it's
Right.
like goodness, especially
Hmm.
when it comes to your doctors, like don't dismiss me just because I look a little better than I did last time.
Right. That's the most weird thing. I don't understand how they could do that. Like, you see my blood work, sir, or like you see my history blood work.
Right.
So obviously something not right. Okay, Adam said it's wild that her dad had it. I'm reading comments from Instagram because those go away after this. Um, so you said your dad was pretty like. How did you find out that he had it? Like when you were a kid, did he tell you, or was it like he had a flare up and you knew, or what happened?
They kind of used to talk about it. My parents are now divorced. They were married for 30 years though. So like growing up, my mom was like the kind of like I said, how she is now, she was like the responsible one. So she would be like, where's your medicine for your lupus or whatever? And he would be like, I don't know. And like that. So we were here that we knew he had it growing up, like, but we didn't know until like he did have like a little situation when I was like probably in like middle school where it really put it in like I'm like, oh, my dad has lupus. And coincidentally, when I first got to Georgia Southern the year before, I went into the huge flare that revealed I had it when I was still, good. They had a lupus walk there. So
Mm,
me and my sister was like, Dad got lupus, right? We was like, yeah. So we was like, let's do the lupus walk with him, not knowing
aw,
within the
that
year I would be diagnosed and
foreshadowing.
getting sick myself. So
Right.
but yeah, he wore it well. And like I said, once like my parents got divorced and stuff, my mom opened me up more to me about, like their relationship from the past and the things they through together. Um,
Yeah.
he went through a lot. Um,
Yeah.
he just hit it. Like he was just, I guess, a man.
Right.
he
Right.
was still, like I said, mow the line. He was still like, he would volunteer and coach basketball,
Man,
do stuff.
that is
So,
some kind of superhuman strength because I know, like, I've only this year made friends, maybe last year made friends with lupus warriors who are guys, and it is a whole different kind of struggle considering they are the man. Like
mhm.
they're expected to be Superman, and then also their body's trying to kill them at the same time. So like how?
Right.
Um, but they do it, and they hide it so well, and people don't really talk about it, and it's 1% of the loopies, so that the demographic is so small that like
Mhm.
people don't pay attention to that. And then for your father to have met your mother, be married, have that support system, have children, and have you grow up thinking like he was pretty fine, like it
Right.
wasn't a
It's
big
I was
deal.
grown basically. Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's insane. That's so
Yeah.
your strength is inherited. Like y- that's wow, you have such a great family dynamic. And I was talking to you about the way your parents taught you or like expected you to like heal for a moment and then get back up. And that's the type of love that a loopy really needs. Like
Hmm.
impressive. And they're always with you. Like they were at the walk, right? Is that them?
Well,
Uh
my dad wasn't. He didn't make it to the walk this year because, like I said, he's in Birmingham, but he was at the gala in
the
March.
gala,
He
yeah,
was
okay.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he couldn't make it to the walk because
Mm-hmm.
he pretty much is his mom's caregiver at this point. So
Aw. Wow.
he
See,
didn't
and
make
now
it.
he's sick and being a caregiver at the same time. Okay. Go ahead, Dad. We're
But
praying for
I
you.
still now I'm the parent though because my dad he's like since I moved back to Alabama I don't have a rheumatologist. I'm like what?
Yeah.
But he's good. He don't have he don't battle with his kidneys or anything. He's good.
Yeah.
Like he. I mean, I won't say he's good because he don't really tell much because he's the man. But
Hmm.
I'll be on him. I'm like, Dad, take your medicine. Take your
Right.
prednisone or something. Take a
Lord.
black take something. Because I
So
don't think he take anything right now. I don't think he's on anything.
dang. So I want to be mindful of people's time and end this soon. But were you when you were like you gave birth to your daughter? Were you already in the, like have the my I don't know how to say it myelitis my
No, when I gave birth, no.
okay.
But like I said, I was exemplifying traits. My walking was declining. They were adding. They knew it was something with my spine. But my spine hadn't got enough lesions because transverse myelitis, it's like it literally is lupus on your spine. So it leaves lesions like the discoid. It's like those lesions eating your spine up. So they eat them.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
that's the best explanation.
they were eating the tissue that kind of supports your spine. So it's like some of it got through. So when they showed me the MRI, like they showed me, it was literally like you could see them. It was like rashes on my spine where lupus was.
Wow. Okay,
And
I
then
read into it because I was like trying to figure out so I could ask you good questions, and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. That is the best description I've heard. It's like discoid lupus, but on your spine.
right.
Okay, they should just say that in the text. I don't know. I
Because
was
it's
reading.
inflammation, it's that's all lupus really. It's like a whole lot of inflammation that attacks one spot and one part of your body. Like that's what makes
Wow.
it different from cancer in so many ways. Because cancer is tumors, like it'll turn into a tumor. Like this is literally just a whole lot of inflammation, like your body burning itself from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
so it's like yeah, it just was consuming. And then when they started their process, because they did have to do like a spinal tap, they drained my spinal fluid to see. And that's really what plugged the pieces together though. When they got my spinal fluid and was like, yeah, that's what it is. And they was saying how when I got meningitis in my brain, that's probably what really triggered it. It was like it was probably
Mm-hmm.
sitting there already a little bit because lupus, but the
Yeah.
meningitis is really what just threw it out because meningitis was sitting in my brainstem, and that's where my transverse myelitis starts. Like it starts
Mm-hmm.
at the base of my brainstem, and
Wow.
then the top, basically half of my spine, is what it ate up.
Yeah. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I think lupus is like. It's all the triggers. It's all the triggers. It's not like lupus itself is just kind of waiting there for something to trigger it to attack something
Right?
new.
Yeah. To ignite
So
it. Mm-hmm.
right. So any kind of little thing that you think is nothing, uh, it could turn into something because lupus gets excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to read some comments before we get out of here. This is such
Okay.
a good interview, though, and there's so many other things I have like questions about. We might have to do a repeat because you
We
are a
can do a
wealth of
part
knowledge.
two. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna need to. We're gonna need to. Okay, so let me go on Instagram and see. We got happy birthdays. We got a lot of wows. We got some
Ooh.
sames exactly. Wow, that her dad had it. That's so real. You do look uh good, and what it's a good thing you're not letting the situation let you down and not take good care of yourself. Self-care, you are beautiful. I know it's a little comfort, but you are helping people. You are helping people. Um, Not to complain about the little things. Thank you for sharing today. Stoic path. And did he impart any skills or knowledge on what to expect? Oh, did your dad ask you or tell you anything to expect in lupus? Somebody asked that in the comments.
No, like I said, my dad is a very country manly man. Like he tried to push it down, like until. And I think that honestly, my mom was saying that she thinks that he knew I had it growing up. He just didn't want to say it because
Right.
they're the kind of people that believe like it's a power in the tongue. So if I don't speak on it, like maybe it won't
Right.
happen for real.
Right.
So she was like, he pretty much knew, like, especially when they were waiting for me to be diagnosed when I was in college and we was telling them what was going on from afar. She said he was like, yes, she got it. So he knew, but he
Aww.
still never sat down. He was not that type to sit down and be like, like he's just, because we talk a lot, but like I said, my dad is like a manly country old school man,
Yeah.
and
But he was like, this isn't happening. I don't see it. It's not
but
happening.
but he was a good coach though. Like I said, he was the type that like, baby, get your rest in and stuff, but you got to get up and we got to get back living life. Like, he was a good coach, but he never said, I was like, if this happened, like, he never really prepared me for the potential battles in a sense, but he also prepared me for the battles to stay strong, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, keep fighting,
Man.
don't give up. But he
Right.
didn't really.
I mean, if you see that, I mean, he was just being a great example, just being a great example of by being a good dad and a good husband and just being there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
wow, God bless you. And happy birthday. If you want to say, if you're leaving my audience with anything, dang, I'm so glad you're alive. Like, happy birthday. Like, this is great. This is
Thank you.
wonderful.
Me too, girl. Thank
Yes.
you.
So anything you want to leave the audience with, if there's anything you want to promote, anything like that, last words so I can let people get on with their lovely days. But go ahead.
Just remember that a dream is just an idea until you act on it. And follow the L life.
Follow
The L Life
Life.
official.
Follow Life on Instagram. Is it also on Facebook?
I was trying to. I'm recreating our Facebook. I was so inactive on it that I think it deleted it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think of our website name, but right now we do
I'll
have
put
the
everything in the.
llifesupport.com.
What is it? Say it again.
llifesupport.com.
Okay.
Not the
I'm
L
gonna
Life,
put
but just llifesupport.com.
Okay. I'm gonna put all of her information in the descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, it's hard, but I'll tag everybody. But the Facebook and YouTube will have like direct links to go to her stuff. Okay, so go support my girl, and it is her birthday in 2 days. So say happy birthday.
Yes, April 30th. Yay!
Yes, April 30th, and all of the chats and want birthday celebrations going off even after we're done. When you watch the replay, I want to see birthday celebrations. Happy birthdays. Be nice. Be kind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. Stay happily healed. Thank you so much, Gabby, for sitting down to explain all these things to us and give us your point of view. And thank you so much for creating the L Life. You are doing so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And we will do a part 2 because this is good. This is good. Okay.
Yes,
All
I'm
right,
down.
guys.
I'm down. Just let me know.
Yes. Have a great day. And next month is Lupus Awareness Month. You about to be sick of me. I'm about to be in your eyeball all day. Okay. So see you guys next
and I'm gonna be reaching out to you for that too. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I can't end my stream.